It's a war. It's a war, figuratively, with reality. So then I saw this piece at the Wall Street Journal this morning. I thought, here we go again. Wall Street Journal. The Equality Act is at war with reality. I call it the Inequality Act. Every child knows the difference between mom and dad, but Congress seeks to outlaw the distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever an objective truth, it's that we human beings are born one of two genders. This was never controversial in human history until liberals got a hold of it and they were like, wait, what? Objective truth? We can't have that. We have to. I'm not kidding. Oh, man, I'd throw this at the screen if I could to emphasize to you how important it is you understand this. Any objective truth, no matter how obvious to liberals, has to be wiped out because they want you to trust their subjective judgment. Anything, even the idea that there are two sexes. This piece is wonderfully, wonderfully written. Here's the first screen cap from the piece, where the author talks about how the liberals must eliminate distinction between the sexes. Again, because it's an objective truth. They can't have that. It says, quote, for modern revolutionaries, it wasn't enough to go after civilization, its traditions, values, and class distinctions. They had to revolt against human nature itself. That, according to the philosopher Augusto Del Noce, was the chief target of the sexual revolution when it severed the link between sex and generation. But, as the Marxist feminist Shalamith Firestone said decades ago, that's not enough. Listen to this, folks. Listen. This is important. Marxism here. The end goal must be the elimination of the sex distinction itself. The revolution is now at our doorstep. I bring this up because I know a lot of you say to yourselves, I know because I did too before I did a real deep dive into what collectivism and socialism was all about. A lot of you say to yourself, like, how crazy is this going to get? Are they going to ignore the very biological chromosomal differences between male and female human beings? Yes, we're here right now. Why the constant attacks on people of faith, by the way, who believe this? That God created males and females distinct from each other? Because, folks, people of faith are the last guardians of truth. Collectivists, leftists are the enemies of truth. Truth requires it to be objective. Joe, if it's true, correct, it means it's true to everyone.
Yes.
That makes it the truth.
That's the truth.
The left can't have that's the truth. The left can't have objective truth. Because if there's an objective truth, there's nothing they can do subjectively to impose their judgment upon you because it won't change that objective truth. So they have to wipe it out. This second screenshot from this piece is an absolute gem. It's a quote by G.K. Chesterton. It says, why then invoke religious freedom? Because those who believe in the invisible order are now the last custodians of the visible one. G.K. Chesterton predicted this more than a century ago. Listen to this quote about how all objective truth will be denied. Religious people who believe in objective truth, God-given rights, all of that stuff. It's objective. There's no judgment involved. Everybody has God-given rights. They will be wiped out. Listen to this quote about how everything will be denied. Quote, everything will be denied. Everything will become a creed. It is a reasonable position to deny the stones in the street. It'll be religious dogma to assert them. Fires will be kindled to testify that 2 and 2 make 4. Swords will be drawn to prove that leaves are green in summer. We shall be left defending not only the incredible virtues and sanities of human life, but something more incredible still, this huge impossible universe which stares us in the face. Here we go. My prediction's at your doorstep now. Religious folks, religion and faith being blamed for immutable human truths. Oh, that's a religious belief that there's a male and a female. It is? I thought it was just a simple act of fact and science and reality. everything will be denied. It's not going to get any better, ladies and gentlemen. It'll only get worse. So the left, they don't only ignore reality and their overall philosophy, they ignore reality every day of their lives. Now, I want you to, I'm sorry to have to expose you to the increasingly ridiculous, absurd AOC. Really, one of the most incompetent people to ever swear into the United States Congress, which really speaks to the vacuum liberal dunces live in, that this is the intellectual scion of their movement. A person who knows nothing about anything, with zero relevant life experience to lecture anyone, is now the Stephen Hawking of liberalism. She is they chant when they see her. They get on their knees and genuflect to this lightweight. Here's AOC pulling two tricks here. She's going to talk about the immigration crisis in this clip. And again, I'm sorry to expose this to you. You will lose 10 IQ points listening to this person. Here she uses two stunts. Number one, she ignores reality. She's talking about the immigration crisis at the border, which you can all see with your own eyes. But again, she wants you to subject it to her judgment, not yours. So ignore the objective reality. Watch this video. That's trick number one, ignore reality. And second, she plays the euphemism game, again, to invoke racism. Racism. It's not about immigration. It's about racism. Two stunts the left is famous for. But AOC, she's not even smart enough to pull this one off. Check this out.
Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame. And that's a problem because this is not a surge. These are children and they are not insurgents and we are not being invaded, which, by the way, is a white supremacist idea, philosophy, the idea that if an other is coming in the population, that this is like an invasion of who we are.
What the hell was that? What does that even mean? Notice the stunts?
Yeah.
Ignore reality. This is not a surge. Surge is related to insurgent. No, it's not. Can you read a dictionary? I had it, folks, for the liberals listening, I know this is hard. I actually went in a search engine and looked up Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition of surge. Here it is on the screen. To rise and fall actively, to rise and move in waves or billows. In other words, when waves of immigrants come, it's a surge. It's not related even remotely to insurgent. That's like saying like the word can is somehow related to like cantilever. And you can't use those two words. What are you even talking about? Letters are arranged in all kinds of ways in the English language, and not every single word has the same derivative or means the same thing. Are you really this dopey? Holy Moses. What kind of, listen, I know liberals aren't that bright, but how stupid do you have to be listening to this person? Surge at the border. This is not a war. Surge, insurgents. So if AOC's right, implying that the word surge is related to insurgent because she can't use a search engine and open a dictionary, then clearly Joe Biden wants a war at the border. Oh my gosh, did you just say that? I did. I'm just applying AOC's ridiculous euphemism game, transferring the words, using other words, changing the meaning of words. Fake euphemism, not even real euphemisms. So clearly, Joe Biden wants a war at the border. If the word surge implies insurgent in some relationship to warfare. You don't believe me? Listen to Joe Biden himself, clearly calling for war at the southern border. Check this out.
What I would do as president is several more things because things have changed. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum.
AOC, you better get with Joe Biden calling for warfare at the southern border. Surge, insurgents. He's calling for insurgents to go to the border. Of course he's not, because I actually believe in the English language. Unlike AOC, who again just ignores reality. And I got to tell you, I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. I obviously don't like this woman's ridiculous politics, but I'm not kidding when I say I'm not even sure she knows what she did. She is so not bright that she may actually believe surge and insurgent mean the same thing. I'm not joking. She may actually believe that. Maybe she should call out Joe Biden immediately then for calling for warfare at the border. Oh my gosh. Again, the wiping out of objective truth. Objective truth, the meanings of words. We all agree, correct, ladies and gentlemen, that an apple is an apple? We all know what an apple looks like. Round, can come in a few different colors. Generally a stem at the top. Macintosh, different flavor. We know that, right? We have categories for what something is. When someone comes to you and tells you, like AOC telling you surge means insurgent, that an apple is an orange, rest assured it's a liberal.